respect. This is MOSHPAINT. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. My name is Blair with MOSHPAINT.
And I'm Shalei Webb. I'm the art teacher at Gilbert High School in Metals Jewelry.
Today we are doing our first collaboration artist episode, and I really have a special place in my heart for this first one because we have quite a relationship in our past. And a little more in depth with that, she has been involved with the Gilbert Schools teaching and district for since I've been in junior high school. In high school, I joined Metals not knowing what I'm getting into, just thought it's cool. It's going to be easy class, easy A. After doing the first year, getting to know Miss Webb a little bit more, I just developed an interest. And that's when it came into, okay, we're doing glass work. We are doing welding work. We're messing with torches. We're building jewelry. And it's just like, opens up your mind a little bit. And if you accept it, then you're already pulled in. You know, it's a hobby, and then for some of us it becomes a lifestyle, and we want to pursue careers with it. And you know, that's kind of what I want to touch base into now, as far as, you know, I have a big inspiration from my art teacher, and you guys kind of can develop that little storyline now with high school and where we're at now. I'm almost 10 years out of high school, and this is kind of what we grew into from that, and I really appreciate that amount of inspiration that I got from you. So now I want you to kind of hear what inspired you to develop into not only your lifestyle, now a career, you know, and not only a career, but passing your skills on to younger kids. And, you know, ideally, I feel like you want to achieve this, you know, pushing your passion and pushing it on to being a lifestyle and make a career out of it, make money on it, because who doesn't want a job that you make money at and have fun doing instead of going to the 9 to 5? So give us a little insight on what brought you to where you are now.
Well, when I was in high school, I thought I wanted to be an architect.
Okay.
And that was before CAD and computer-aided drafting and really being able to do math easily with a computer. So
sure.
You had to do everything by hand.
So more blueprint based,
yeah,
and
nice.
very, 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 very detailed. Okay.
Yeah, I suck at math.
Sure. Okay.
Like lots of people suck at math, I suck at math. So
okay.
That was not an option right then. So I took an art class, and the art teacher was like, oh my gosh, you should take another art class. So I did. Sue Gillock was my high school art teacher.
Yes, I like
Sue
names.
Gillock. And so my second year in art, she's like, well, why don't you be an art teacher? And I was like, that's it.
2 years into art.
Yeah, it was my junior year, and I was like, I don't think I want to think about this anymore. That feels right.
Interesting.
And so she helped me. She would take me like 45 minutes into the city to take drawing classes in the evening with models, and we had a great time, and she just helped me along the way.
Sure.
Like doing what teachers do.
Yeah, so, you know, not picking favorites, because no teachers pick favorites ever, but she took you under her wing, you know, and it was enough to... She had enough faith into you that you grew your own faith to this. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's really awesome. I mean, my thing is, you know, I had enough inspiration that I knew I liked art. I just needed to kick years later down the line, but I have to realize my roots, and that's, you know, a lot of inspiration of what I got going on here, and little skills and tricks that I learned along the way helped me just kind of develop these ideas. So, you know, that young inspiration, you know, it may not hit right away, it may not stick with you the entire way, but it still lives inside you, if that makes sense, and just waiting for whatever inspires you or pulls it out of you at the right time, I think, is what develops that passion. But I think that's really cool. Like, it took 2 years to go from architect to having to want to be a teacher, not even into thought, like you wanted to.
I want to teach art.
And
that's what I wanted to do. School, started my career in 25 years down the line in 5 different schools.
5 different schools.
So in Indiana and here in Arizona.
Okay.
And I'm happy. And the thing that inspires me is my students.
Yeah.
They're the ones that keep me moving.
I mean, have you always felt like you wanted to teach? Were you always a helper? Like, even in class, were you always What made your teacher think that you shared that quality of you should teach? Like, obviously, you have to be good. You have to be good at it and like it, but it's a whole nother level to. I want to inspire people just as much as I am. Like that's what's interesting.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what it was that she saw in me. I can't even tell you that.
So you didn't even.
I was really shy.
Okay.
And I was into my own art.
Yeah.
And I don't know what she saw.
That's interesting.
But sometimes you see a kid and you think, I think they're gonna do this when they get older, and you always hope that they come back to their art because that's soul fulfilling stuff.
Sure.
And it can save you when you're in a bad place. Your art can save you.
Absolutely.
So just having a little bit of it in your life when you're in high school and being introduced to it gives you that something that you can fall back on to make your life better. I'm
sure you have a couple students over this whole time period that they've developed their own art. They're in galleries. I'm sure that's almost, more than my fingers and toes that you've had that experience. And
I've seen things. I've walked into a gallery and said, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I want to have it. And you talk to the gallery and I'm like, that was my student.
Yeah.
So that's an amazing experience.
And I have to imagine the X amount of fulfillment is right there, but you get that over and over and
you know
over.
what? It's funny. The fulfillment part, my husband jokes that we can't go any place without tacking on an extra 20 minutes because I'm always going to see a student.
Yeah.
And so just seeing them. Just seeing them and seeing them happy and living their life.
Yeah.
That's fantastic stuff.
You're a teacher every year for them sometimes. So.
Well, once you're my kid, you're always my kid.
Yeah, and there is that. That is true. I'm guilty with that one as well. So kind of now segue into what we want to do with MOSHPAINT here and this whole artist collaboration. So what we're going to do with every episode is we will collaborate myself and another artist. In this particular situation, we're doing a collaboration with a metals artist. So jewelry, the whole nine. So what we have done is we have collaborated on a piece here, a nice necklace, and we will show you, give you a nice close-up of this guy here. But what we have done is fused both of our talents into creating this guy. And that's the big idea that I want with this whole idea, everything that I have going on here, MOSHPAINT, everything in general is we can create very cool things having the same art passion under a large umbrella, though. Art isn't just a canvas and a paintbrush. There's so much more to that, and that's what I want to bring out of both of us. We can push each other on different comfort levels, and I can learn and she can learn a lot about what we do. So what we're going to do with this item and any other item is we're going to ideally push it to a better cause. We're going to sell this item to our audience and to the general public ideally here, but it's not going to be a profit for us. It is a proceed to something we see fit that will better the community, someone's situation, families, whatever it be. So what we decided in this particular scenario with Miss Webb being a teacher, we want to actually get this guy sold, and all the proceeds from it will go to students that can't afford the fees to get in her class. Now, it may be a small fee to get into this class, but there is plenty of students out there that do need this help. And how many students do you think get turned away just because their parents won't put up that $40 for the... It's
$40, and I will never turn a student away. I just won't do that.
And
we find the fee money. If it comes out of my pocket, it comes out of my pocket. If we just waive it, we'll figure out a way to waive it. But if a kid wants in the class, they get to be in the class.
So one way or another, obviously, it can push a teacher's wallet, which is obviously amazing. But it's hard sometimes doing that, and I'm sure I've seen it firsthand. I was in her class all 4 years, and the amount of saw blades we broke, raw materials wasted. It's funny to you maybe as a kid or whenever it happens, but in the end, you got to realize that this is a school's not fronting the bill for all this great equipment that we got to work on. So, I even remember. You would allow students just to give you money over the year.
oh yeah, give me $5, we'll put it in your account. Give me $5 more, we'll put it in your account. We'll figure it out.
Exactly. So what we're trying to do is I want to give this or bid this item out to you guys, and all the proceeds will go to multiple students to help get them in this class and comfortable. It's who wants to be known in that class that they couldn't afford it, kind of thing, or who wants to be pushed away from their parents because they say, no, I'm not paying for anything in school. I don't pay for classes. School's free, and you get discouragement right from your parents up front because there's a fee that's attached to it. So we want to waive the fees for as many students as we possibly can. Ideally, what we're looking to do is sell this necklace for $200. The first person that wants it at $200, it is yours. Ultimately, anything past that is just more money to get these students in there. So at $200, that's 5 full students paid for the full year. And or if there's some students that are struggling to pay a little extra few bucks, or they can give you half, whatever it be, that's that many more students. So we are encouraging a $200 sale on this item. Anything past that, it would be a greatly appreciated donation, and just know all that you're doing is allowing more students to get into her class, more students to have the opportunity that I did, at a great school with a lot of great resources. There's a lot of good equipment in there, and there's a lot of fun to be had there, and I can only hope that even if one of those students takes all your classes all the way through the year, at least we inspired somebody. And I know everyone that did take that class, they had fun. And that's something that's not the easiest thing to do in high school, is say I had fun in class. And I could confidently say that all the time. And I think that's what helps inspire, is fun.
I think so too. Sometimes the kids don't even realize how hard they're working in there.
Sure.
It's just a different kind of work.
Yeah.
But they're learning, and they're being inspired and learning how to persevere and problem solve.
They get freedom. Yeah, there's structure, but are you reading a book on how to make this next piece in your class?
Get up out of your seat and make something.
And try. And that was one thing that I really respected. You always encouraged trying, even if she knew it wasn't going to look good. She wanted me to know that doing that was probably not the right way to go about it, and I learned a lot from that. So to give that extra hand of, you're going to learn. You're going to figure it out yourself. Yes, we're going to waste some materials. I don't care. This is how this is done. And, that's where we are today. Yeah. So with that being said, I would like to name this more or less MOSHPAINT's annual scholarship for Gilbert High School's medals. And I plan on doing this every summer going into the school year. School year starts in very soon, a couple days kind of thing.
Yeah.
So ideally we want to get this out as quickly as we can so we can ensure X amount of students get enrollment into her class. So that's what I want to ultimately do, is whomever purchases this guy, we will create a project, whether it's individual or I think it'd be cool to do a collaboration.
I think so too.
Let's put their minds together just like we did here,
yeah.
And I'm sure some of them will be more freshman, sophomore. We might have a junior, senior tied in there, so it'll be a good little group to think about something. And we don't have to do a necklace. We can do something that inspires them.
I think that you should show them your pouring, the dirty pouring stuff. I think that they would think that's fantastic.
I think we can easily do that. So, incentive on this purchase, not only will you help these kids get into this class, but a year down the line in May when the school year is over, we will follow up with you. We will do a collaboration process with those kids. We will give them freedom and just a helping hand to see what they can come up with, and whatever they do, you will also receive that item, so you know what that small purchase gained your community, and knowledge, and how much fun was to be had, and they got into that class because they wanted to be there, and simply because they couldn't afford it was not an answer for us. I think that's just the flattest way to put it right there.
That's right.
So, with that being said, $200 for this guy. You'll see a close-up of it. It is very beautiful. Let's kind of go over the process of what we did here. So, obviously, we have a bit of resin and glass inlays that we put into. Now, what is this actual metal here? Is
It's
it
sterling silver.
Sterling silver. So, Miss Webb did some nice cuts on we made these very interesting oblong, rounded, triangular shapes, and this was just kind of something we came up with from our sketch. So, I'll actually just hold this up here. So we came up with these in a sketch, and we thought that was pretty interesting. We wanted something that was hanging in 3 tiers and has this freedom. So all of these have these little freedom here. So with that, we got the sterling silver. We put a separate cut plate here so we can support our resin. The resin layer here is nice and translucent with some glitter in there. So more or less, we wanted to create little planets, if you will. We took a couple, what would you say, 3 to 4 layers of glass of different shades and kilned it over the fire and let it melt over each other. And I spent a good, I would say, 2 hours minimum on the sander trying to get these guys nice and rounded off there. So, you know, they're kind of little planet shaped. You know, this one's almost moonish. It was white, but after the resin, it turned blue. That was pretty cool. But yeah, with that said, you know, working up, we did some twisted. Is this still sterling? Just rotted out. So we just twist wired all these up here. They're all welded, soldered onto the back there. And then we got these little decorative beads. I just thought they looked cool. I don't have an explanation around them, but we wanted to separate these guys so they're not always touching and running into each other. And this whole thing just has really nice flow. So whenever you're wearing it, whomever's wearing it, you know, it'll have nice movement. And I'm ideally going to say a good conversation piece. I've never seen anything, you know, more or less on the lines of something like that. So with that being said, $200. I want to get this sold so we can get some students into her class, get them enrolled. Anything over that will be highly appreciated. If anyone wants to donate to medals and Gilbert High School medals and or, you know, enrollment to get in her class, I am willing to openly take that as well. Like she said, $5 goes a long way because that student might be actually using their lunch money to partially pay for their medals class, and that is what it is, and that's how they want to go to that class. That's how badly they want to go to that class. So
well, a lot of those kids are on free and reduced lunch, so they can't even afford lunch.
Sure.
The school provides lunch for them. There's
that to be said as well. Yep. So when you have a student that can't afford lunch and the school's providing it, do you think the parent is really going to want to front money up for an extra class, or just go, no, pick something else and it's free? That's what public schools are for. It's free. And there's truth to that, but you know, the amount of, if you want to be in an art class, obviously there's got to be a fee with it. You're working with expensive materials, more equipment, you know, everything that plays in with that. Right. But there's so much to be more gained out of that than sending a student to study hall. Or, you know, an extra PE class, whatever it be, you know, I don't know, but free classes, how much passion or how much inspiration are you really going to get from a free class that other students are, you know, doing clay, you know, or, you know, other classes that cost money, you know, but
well, even PE costs PE clothes. So
everything.
the umbrella of what the school, what the district, what the state will cover has nothing to do with the materials.
Sure.
So
sure.
We have to buy the materials for the kids so they can make some things.
And everybody knows that. Every teacher out there, you're opening your wallet every year. Some a lot more than others. And you know, and it's so humbling to see a teacher that can not let a student not take your class. If they show passion, they want to be in your class, you'll make sure that happens.
That's right.
And sometimes, guess what, guys? That is $40 coming right out of her pocket. Her asking them to give her whatever they can over the year, and whatever happens at the end of the year, she doesn't care because that student took her class, and that's amazing. So, you know, again, let's get this guy sold. I want to get those kids enrolled. $200 for this guy. We can do PayPal. We can deliver. We can do whatever we want. Ideally with that. So let us know as soon as you possibly can. And any donation that you want to push forward to Gilbert High School and the medals class, we will happily take that as well. I'll open up a GoFundMe or something on that as far as a fundraiser on that, and we'll just make that an open forum. We're not going to have a goal for it. We're not pushing for a number. We want to get this guy sold ideally for that number, but anything else from there would just be appreciated kind of thing. So
another thing you can do is a state tax credit.
Sure.
You can go to the Gilbert Public Schools website and you can go to the tax credit link and actually do a tax credit, and you get that money back on your state taxes in full.
No excuse.
So
No excuse. You know, there's even a receipt for it, kind of
there's
thing.
even a receipt for it.
So let's see what we can do to help her out this year. So let's make that even easier for her. Let's help her out, and let's make this a thing. So every year we can come back, we can talk about this, we can follow up with the students from the first one to the fifth one, ideally, I hope, you know. So let's keep the scholarship fee program going, and let's help these kids go to school. Thank you very much for helping me with this. I had a lot of fun with this guy.
I had a good time working with you.
I had a blast from the past walking back into the same exact classroom 8 years later to work on this piece. And I think that was one of the cooler moments of this guy, other than the final product. But just coming back and same school, same classroom.
Same hallway.
Same hallway, same everything. I even worked on the same grinder to grind the glass stones down, and it blew my mind. So, but, you know, it's too good of a story, too good of a cause to you know, not start Mosh Paint like this, and this is the direction and the mood and the idea that we want to keep going. So thank you guys for tuning in. I had a blast with you. I had a lot of fun with this. Let's get this guy sold, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks.